message is also there, but because the music is attractive, so people will maybe chant or at least listen to it and gradually understand philosophical concepts. So Prabhupada said about the songs like, for example, Narottam Das Thakur, that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he said that Narottam Das Thakur's songs are Vedic evidences. They're as good as the Vedas. There's no difference in the message. Maybe the presentation may be different, but the Siddhanta, the conclusion, is actually the same. So, and he said that these songs were written in a very simple language so that people, even in the villages, they could understand. And that's the main point. As we mentioned, Bhagavad Gita, yes, Sanskrit. Who will study Bhagavad Gita? Only those who know Sanskrit, which generally were the Brahmanas. Shudras, Vaishyas, women, they were not even allowed to study the Vedas, so they had no access to the philosophy. How it was presented in those days, we hear that because there was no TV, there was no nightlife. So in the evening, people would gather in the village and then somebody would recite Mahabharata or Ramayana. That was the way how to get across some philosophical concepts to the people in general, to simple people. So then those songs, they have this purpose to transmit the Vaishnava philosophy, the conclusions, in a way that is very easy to understand even by common people. So that's the main point. So let's see, for example, we can have an example here by, let's say, Vidyapati, to get one practical example. So in this connection, I have to, or I want to actually mention very briefly, I'm not sure whether you have, or anybody has seen this book, which I published maybe, I don't know, a year ago or a little more, Introspection, Life in the Shadow of Time. This is a collection of 18 songs by the Vaishnava Acharyas, and as the title says, these are all introspective songs. So one of them is the one I've been talking about by Vidyapati, Tatala Shaikate. This example he gives, Prabhupada gives about the drop of water in the sand. So what I have done, and that's another aspect we can mention, I have adapted this song into English, and this book is also, I did it in Spanish and in German, also converting the, actually it's not exactly Bengali, it's not Sanskrit, it's Maithili, it's a different language. But anyway, we have the translation by Prabhupada. And so this song, I turned it into English and then accompanied it with, you could say, contemporary music. So it's the same idea that in order to make it accessible, people will not, even ourselves, when we, I mean, you in India and maybe in Pakistan also, it may be easier for you to understand the songs written in Bengali. I'm not sure, probably, maybe even not. Who speaks Bengali of all of you who are there? Nobody, no?
Nobody, Maharaj.
So if you sing the bhajans like Bhaja Hure Mana or any of these prominent, Yashomati Nandana, well, Yashomati Nandana may be easier. It's all just, names of Krishna, basically. It's a Nam Kirtan. But the other songs, or Hari Hari Bifale, does anybody understand? Does it have any, well, probably some words will be similar to Hindi, or I don't know. It's not completely different like for us in the West. But still, you don't speak Bengali, right? So we know from from the history that when Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as you know, he was in Jagannath Puri. He was the temple manager. He lived there many years. So the devotees, Odisha from Odisha, they came to him and said that, you have all these songs, but we don't understand them. We don't speak Bengali. So what did he tell them? You can translate them into your language and then sing them also with your traditional instruments. So he gave them the option to adapt the message to their language and to their understanding and then present it in their way. So that was my idea when I adapted these 18 songs into English poetry. Not just, we have all the English translations of these songs, but in a way you can sing it in English. So that was the idea. So let's see, to give you an example. So here in this, well, that's the song. Is that working? It actually wasn't supposed to happen like this. Let me see, where am I here? Hmm. In a world where souls lose their way, I for. Oops. So this didn't work as I want because I'm not expert in this. So this is the first verse. In a world where souls lose their way, I forgot you, O Lord, adrift in dismay. Lovers, children, and friends on my mind, their allure, though fleeting, made me blind. Now I have to see, where do I have this? Um, so this works. I mean, you heard the song a little bit, the beginning, right? It was, was it was it okay? I mean, I heard it here because I probably went through the microphone. I'm not sure whether it went through the system. Um, so then this is the refrain, like a drop of water on burning hot sand, worldly delights quickly came to an end. So this is to make the connection to Bhagavad Gita. That's the idea we should do. We have in Bhagavad Gita in 522, Krishna telling Arjuna that an intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses, O son of Kunti, because such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. So that's the same idea that material enjoyment is very fleeting. It doesn't last for very long, and that is what Vidyapati is expressing in this song. And there are other verses also where Krishna says something similar. Matra Sparsha to Kaunteya, for example, that the experience of happiness and distress is due to contact of the senses with their objects, and they come and go like summer and winter. So the temporary, impermanent nature of the material world, we know in the Bhagavad Gita that is one aspect that is coming in different verses in different chapters. So and that's a theme in the songs of the Vaishnava Acharyas, which we'll find again and again. So this and this song in particular it talks about this. So let's see. So how we can continue, because I could go on in the same way, but maybe somebody may want to comment or ask something to before we continue. We can also, I'm not sure where do I have it, to hear that song, at least part of it. And but I wanted to try, let me see, to accompany it with the pictures, because that was the idea of the book. Or not just to present an audio, but also to illustrate it simultaneously, which I think, that's nowadays what everybody likes videos. Audio is okay, but nowadays you have to have pictures and sound at the same time. That's very popular. So let me see. Anyway, as I said, if somebody wants to comment something or have a question to clarify whatever I've been talking about so far, let me know.
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
Yes.
Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, where we can find these videos, these Vaishnava bhajans?
Which one? This one you mean, which I'm talking about, the ones
Yes,
that I
yes,
presented?
yes.
They're on YouTube. Um, I would have to see. I mean, as I said, I would have prepared it better if I would have had the time and give you a link immediately. But I will do. Let me see where do I have that? I could even maybe I find the video and we could play it because this video is not very long. Let me see. Where do I have that? Huh. Yeah, I have that. And then let me see. Burning hot sand. I will find it. Burning. And if I go to YouTube, 1 second, I should be able to find it actually. Here it is. So, okay, now the question is how I'm going to do that. I found the video and I can send you the link. And then there's not so many. Maybe I'm not even sure how many I have, maybe 5 videos. Let me go to Zoom and go to the chat and a message to everyone. So that's the link for the YouTube videos. But let me see whether we can have this one. Dios. Let me see. Okay. I want to do this big, whole screen. Oh, this is like that. Okay, I got the whole screen. Now I want to share this. Share. Where's my share? Okay, share. Which one? Screen number 1. I hope this will work. Should work. Do you see that? Is it working? You see the video?
No, Maharaj.
No?
No, no.
Okay, let's. Sorry.
We can see the drop,
You can see what?
the last that you shared, the drop video, the drop picture.
Oh, the drop. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I understand. Let me see how to do this. I mean, I said share, and what I want to share is this one here. Oh, now it should work, right? Share. Now you see the other one, or you see still the drop?
And yes, now we can see the other one.
The other one, right? You see that
Yes,
one
yes,
here?
yes.
Okay.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
video is working, but it is not audible.
World where what is
Okay, now it is
happening?
audible. Okay, now it is audible.
I don't understand. You see the video and the audio is also working or not?
It's perfectly fine, Maharaj. Earlier it was not audible, now it is audible as well. It's perfectly fine.
It's working?
I forgot
Yes, Maharaj.
you, oh Lord, adrift in dismay. Lovers, children, and friends on my mind. Their allure, though fleeting, made me blind. Like a drop of water on burning hot sand, worldly delights quickly came to an end. In this misery I turn to you in despair. Oh my lover, I don't find relief anywhere. You are the three worlds Savior true. With mercy you embrace the souls askew. In you alone my hope shall reside, my well-wishing friend and trusted guide. In an afterlife state, I wandered astray, living in disgrace day after day. As a frivolous child, I wasted my time. As a useless old man, I lived in decline. Like a drop of said, worldly delights quickly come to an end. Said, worldly delights quickly come to an end. Romantic adventures, young love's sweet kiss, it entered my heart with delusory bliss. When will I find the path to embrace and worship you, O Lord, face to face? Worlds come and go in endless succession, yet you are eternal, no beginning or cessation. From you they arise, to you they return, like ocean waves in cycles turn. Like a drop of water, sad. Worldly delights quickly come to an end. Like a drop of sad. Worldly delights quickly come to an end. Vidyapati admits his fear of death, who's awaiting him with its ice cold breath. No shelter but you, O Lord Supreme. I surrender my soul for you to redeem. The burden to free me from worldly strife rests now with you, O bestower of life. In your lotus hands lies my deliverance from this transient world to transcendence. Like a drop of water, said, worldly delights deeply come to an end. In this misery, I turn to you in despair. Oh, Madhava, I don't find relief anywhere. In this misery, I turn to you in despair. Oh, Madhava, there is no other relief anywhere. Oh, Madhava, I surrender myself to your care.
Okay. So that's, let me see. Let's go back here. And so that's one example of presenting philosophy in a way that hopefully will be accessible, to anybody, practically speaking. You don't have to speak Sanskrit, Bengali, or any other language, just simple English. Could be, of course, done in other languages also. So I think, this is basically the idea. And if we look at Bhagavad Gita, the main topics that are being presented, the songs of the Vaishnava Acharyas deal with all of these. And generally, as we can see in this song and in other songs also, the nature of the material world, that it's impermanent, the main problem, especially old age, is always in the songs, especially Bhaktivinoda Thakur. If you look at the songs, at the end, he always says, now I'm getting old, and now what is going to happen to me? So I surrender to you. Please accept me. Yes, go ahead. Somebody was saying something, I thought, maybe not. Let's see. Okay. So, there's one song, we don't have to, let's see where it is, by Bhaktivinoda, I think it's Bhaktivinoda Thakur, yes. This one, Vidyara Vilase. It's about mundane knowledge, which corresponds to Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says that there are four people who don't surrender unto him, right? The Dushkritina, Naradama, and Mayaya Paritagyana. So let me go here. This is, I will just read the English so you get the idea. This song, Vijara Vilase, being translated into English poetry, and of course it's all these songs I have put into audio, and some are already there in video, also music video, but it takes time. So Right now I'm busy with something else, but in the ideas, of course, all of them I will present in music videos. So this is the beginning of the song. In the beginning, he says, "In a cheerful mood, I spent my time with mundane learning, confident that worldly wisdom was lofty and rewarding. I ignored your lotus feet and never worshipped you, O Lord, but now you are my only shelter, refuge, and support. With each book I studied, my hopes surged and soared. Mundane knowledge seemed to be life's ultimate award, but those hopes turned out to be fruitless and feeble. Now I know such learning to be ignorant babble. The study of worldly matters is illusion's creation, blocking true devotion, inducing infatuation. Like an ass, I carried the load of mundane education, ending only in ambition, frustration, and lamentation." So this is the part that Prabhupada quotes many times in his lectures, even in his books, Jada Vidya Yota Mayara Vaibhava, that all the so-called knowledge of the world is actually a product of Maya, of the illusory energy. And because people become so much absorbed in these material studies, they completely forget the spiritual aspects of life. So therefore, it's practically blocking. He says it's blocking devotion, bhakti, this mundane knowledge. And then he compares himself to that. Here I stand, a learned ass, proud of my useless load, absorbed in material life, my spirit overshadowed. And again, now in my old age, the power to enjoy curtailed, nothing at all pleases me, my plans have all failed. That's Bhaktivinoda Thakur reflecting, because as we know, he was very learned. He had studied even Western philosophers. He had studied the Quran. He had studied the Bible. He had written more than 100 books. So he was a school teacher. He was instructing others. But then he presents in this song, he presents this aspect that all this actually, from the devotional point of view, is practically useless. I'm just like a big ass and full of so-called knowledge, but it actually doesn't have any meaning. Life has become agony. My heart is in pain. My learning turned out to be devoid of real gain. It has become a pointed spear piercing my inner sense with the unbearable burning pain of abject ignorance. So yes, you may be a big scholar and have studied so many things, but at the end, when the time comes that you are tested, what is your real knowledge of the self, then you're actually just like an ass, and you fail to pass the test. Oh Lord, now this is always in the Acharya songs. At the end, generally in the last verse, they turn to Krishna and, surrendering, which is Bhagavad Gita's theme. After everything Krishna has said, the ultimate instruction is just surrender unto me, forget about everything else. Sarva Dharma Parityaja. O Lord, in this dreary world, there's no other treasure than your precious lotus feet, their value beyond measure. Bhaktivinoda abandons now all dull, mundane knowledge and makes your feet his life's essence, transcending all bondage. So that's my presentation of this Vidyara Vilase. So I think you get the idea. One can, like Prabhupada did Gita Gan, theoretically, and it's a project I have in my mind, but who knows whether it will be possible in this lifetime to convert Bhagavad Gita into 18 songs. There's 18 chapters. Well, maybe probably more than 18 songs, because some chapters have more than one topic, or you could, at least it's like the second chapter. There's different parts. to convert the message, which is presented in more than 70 verses, into songs, so that the philosophical content is being presented in an accessible way. That's the whole idea. So, well, that's basically the idea. So, as I said, this book, Introspection, has 18. I selected 18 songs so far and converted them into English poetry with a commentary. On the website, you can find this book. You can download it for free. The printed version is, of course, available, but not practical, probably, to send it. It's very expensive nowadays. But everything is there in the ebook version, and then the songs are already also there for download. So that's basically my idea. So yeah, go ahead. I heard some sound. Somebody's saying something. There's somebody raised his hand. Yes, please go ahead. Two hands. Let's first Dr. Praina Mulani.
Hare
Is it
Krishna
correct?
Maharaj, Danvat
Hare
Pranam,
Krishna. What doctor are you?
DPT, physiotherapist.
Okay.
I'm studying. Still, I'm studying.
Yeah, good.
My question was that what was one instruction from Srila Prabhupada did you remember every day?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many instructions, but he said, I only want you all to be happy. So, because we're all unhappy in this world. So basically, why are we practicing Krishna consciousness? We are by nature, we are happy. We shouldn't be suffering in these songs, that's the point. People are illusory happy. We should be spiritually happy. So first of all, to get there, one has to understand that material happiness is not the way. So as we saw in this Burning Hot Sand by Vidyapati, or also here in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song, and all the other songs, like Hari Hari Bifale and Bhajahure Mana, the Acharya presents material life. Even there is some happiness, it's flickering, but actually we should strive for the eternal, ongoing, Brahma Saukyam Anantam, like Rishabdev tells his sons, the unending spiritual happiness. So that was one of Prabhupada's main things. He told us, everything we do, what is the purpose? Ultimately, I want you all just to be happy. But really, real happiness, not flickering, That's the point. So don't
Thank
forget
you,
that.
Maharaj.
Yeah, if we always remember that, then it gives us some impetus to continue practicing spiritual life. I hope.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
next hand. Prabhupada Jai, Tulsi Devi Dasi. And there are so many others. The whole.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes,
Me,
please.
please accept my senses. This is me, Krishna Priya Shri Devi Dasi. Maharaj, I want to ask one question. Like Maharaj, you mentioned that how Prabhupada met with the George Harrison and George
Yeah.
Harrison was interested in music, and Prabhupada started with that, in conversation with George Harrison, and then George Harrison was attracted with the philosophy. So I really want to
Uh-huh.
ask, to seeing the Bhagavad Gita or philosophy or presenting or preaching the Bhagavad Gita through the vision of Vaishnava.
Your audio is breaking up, so I have a problem. Anybody? It's not only me, I think. No, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. What
Krishna,
happened?
you are not audible.
Is it fine now, Maharaj? Am I audible?
Yeah. But it's breaking. You
Breaking.
disappeared again.
Okay.
Well, try. I don't know. What is the question?
Maharaj, my question is that
Krishna, you can write the text on the chat.
Somebody understood? because she's breaking up. I can't understand the question.
Krishna, yes, you can send the text on the chat, Krishna Priya.
Somebody can help? Or maybe you can write it down. I don't know what to do. No, there's no sound. What are we going to do? Where's our moderator?
Maharaj, she's writing down.
Hmm?
She's writing down the question
Oh,
on the
okay.
chat box.
All right, chat box. Let's see. Somebody wanted me to summarize everything I've said so far. How can I do that? In the chat? No. I don't, yes. So how can we balance our studies and spiritual life in a practical way? We have duties like studying and building a career, but internally we feel drawn toward Krishna. How can we perform our responsibilities without becoming materially absorbed and still remain spiritually focused? This is a question is always coming up because many people are in that situation, of course. And the answer is not easy. There's no formula. Every circumstance is individual, is different. But we have some general indication. Like, for example, Maharaj Yudhishthir, he asked a similar question to, I think it's Narada Muni, in the 7th canto, when they speak about Prahlad Maharaj. Anyway, Maharaj Yudhishthir was asking, how can we, and he speaks about himself as a king with a family and so many responsibilities. So how can we, focus on Krishna and simultaneously fulfill all our duties we have in the world? So one thing Narada Muni said, that you perform your duties, but not necessarily with all your heart. You don't put your heart into it, right? I mean, the heart should go to Krishna, and externally you do, like even with family, it's not that you don't love your children or your husband or wife, but not, we shouldn't focus 100% with all our being into these things. We have to somehow other balance Krishna and our so-called material life, which has to go on simultaneously. We're living in this world, and if we have family, we have to earn money. We have to do so many things that are apparently not connected to Krishna. But again, there's Bhaktivinoda Thakur as a good example. He was a magistrate. He was a teacher. He was a writer. He had so many responsibilities, and simultaneously, he was, of course, very Krishna conscious. And you can study his life. During the day, he was doing his duties. And then when he came back in the evening, he would take his meal, take a little rest, and then, like Prabhupada, get up and start to write and so many spiritual activities until the next day. Then again to court, do his duties and so many other things. And then when he came back, again, just Krishna consciousness. So some or other, we have two parallel lives at the same time. We have to balance what to do. Unless you can later on in life, yes, then one should retire. Don't continue, like so many people in the material world. They cannot give up their involvement either in politics or in business. Like, some of these people until they're 90, they still want to, like there was some African president not long time ago, he wanted to be re-elected. He was over 90 years old, still continue as the president of the country. That's crazy. At one, Panchavarnam Vanangrajat, when you get to 50, most of you are not 50, But then one has to think of retiring, from material duties. Anyway, so yeah, the balance, you have to balance, and you have to see according to your personal circumstances, how can I balance it? Every circumstance is different. That's all I can say. Okay, we have a few more
Thank you,
hands up
Maharaj.
there. Yes. Netik, please, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandat
Hare
Pranams.
Krishna. Yes.
Maharaj, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Maharaj, I wanted to hear some pastimes or first meeting with Srila Prabhupada of yours and some lessons for our lives and some memorable moments of yours with Srila Prabhupada. I would just like to hear that.
I mean, we don't have much time for this kind of thing, I think, because, I can say this. Why don't you go to the website and you download Srila Prabhupada and his disciples in Germany? This is, the book I published, and there you get all the details. Whatever I could remember is there, and other things. So that would be a good idea. And it's for free. You can give, of course, a donation. There's a button somewhere on the website, but you can just download that book, and you can also get it in printed form. I think in India it's still available from, I don't remember exactly, the one who publishes the books in Delhi. He has. There's still a lot of. We have a printed version, I think. Anyway, so please read the
Lal and
book.
Sons.
What?
I think this is Rasbihari Lal and Sons.
No, it's a devotee in Delhi temple, or associated with the Delhi temple. Anyway, please, if
Golden
any
age.
question, yeah, I think it's his name is Nanda.
Nanda
Yeah,
Gopal.
Golden Age. Golden Age Media.
Yes, right. Anyway, so please, if there's any question, we have a few minutes more, to the topic what we had today. My pastimes, as I said, they're in the book, and I already forgot everything. I have to read the book to remember. So, okay, Madhavan Das, please go ahead. Oops, disappeared. Okay, next one.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, am I audible?
Yes, very good.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranams, my humble obeisances into your lotus feet. Maharaj, my question was that what is difference between Shraddha and Siddhant? Because when Shraddha is without Siddhant, it is called Satija or Sati Metis. And when Siddhant is without Shraddha, so it is called a cold-hearted person or strict person. So what is difference between them and how can we balance them both? And what is more important?
Okay, somebody can translate that audibly, because your pronunciation I didn't get exact. What is it? Shraddha or Shabda?
Shraddha and Siddhant Maharaj, the Siddhant.
Shraddha and Siddhanta. What's the problem with that? I don't. What's exactly the question? How to balance Shraddha and Siddhanta? What's
Maharaj,
the problem?
yes, Shraddha, how to balance Bhav and Siddhant, Shraddha and Siddhant.
Why cannot? Why shouldn't they be balanced? You have faith in the conclusions, no? I don't see any difficulty. You have difficulty in balancing Shraddha and Siddhanta? I don't understand the point. What can I say?
So he's saying faith and
faith and conclusions of the
difference
Shastra.
between faith and principles.
Well, in the beginning, let's I just give some idea as far as I can see. We may have some faith in the beginning without really understanding why. Okay, that's possible, and such faith will not last unless you understand Siddhanta. Is that that's logical? I think so. Like Prabhupada used to say, We should understand Krishna consciousness with our intelligence, not just with some sentiment. Like Shraddha or faith could be just some sentiment, but that's not enough. So we have to know the philosophy. We have to understand Siddhanta so that the faith becomes strong. Okay? That's what I would say.
Thank you,
Okay.
Maharaj.
Okay. Go ahead. Damni Mangwani. Next hand up
Hare
here.
Krishna Maharaj, pranams.
Yes.
Maharaj, my question is that there are Vaishnava bhajans, some are like glorifying about Lord and some are glorifying the intimate relationship between Sri Radharani and the Krishna. So, are there certain bhajans that are not meant to be shared or discussed with non-devotees, or all bhajans are for just for the Vaishnavas and the devotees?
No, I mean, and that's a good question. Even devotees, like there is one bhajan which has been printed in the early Vaishnava songbook, which is called Shrita Kamala. Right? You have maybe seen this or heard about it. So Prabhupada mentioned this should not be sung. We should not even, sing it because it is about intimate relationship, and we are, even if somebody's on the level, it's not for public chanting. You can do it in your home if you feel that you are advanced enough. But generally, we should stick to, first of all, like the burning hot sand. That's what, we first have to understand that the material life, as long as we are attracted to material relationships and everything that is involved with it, we cannot pretend, we should not pretend to, get into the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna, like Gita Govinda, for example. That's also from Jayadev Goswami, right? No, we should not indulge. We should, Jayadeva Goswami, we have one song, Dashavata Stotra. That's what we have. That's what, the acharyas gave us. So everybody has to see their own adhikar, their eligibility. But even if you have it, it's not meant generally for public sharing because people are not qualified and they will misunderstand and be misled. So anyway, that's, okay. All right. Daya More.
Hare Krishna, Dhanvati Nam. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I have two questions, but I don't know
Oh,
what question I should ask first.
well, you
So,
have to decide.
like, okay, first of all, I want to ask, like, I am not very attracted towards, Vaishnav song.
Okay.
And the idea you just gave is like translating into accessible language. Like this, you just give us the idea and the way, which is very interesting. And so my question is, what make you to translate Vaishnav song into accessible things? Like there must be some inspiration. Like I am getting inspiration from you. So what was your inspiration, which led you to do something
Well,
very unique?
no, I mean, as I mentioned, when I read about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that devotees came to him, and then we're talking about more than 100 years ago, right? In Odisha, Jagannath Puri in Puri. So they couldn't understand Bengali. And that, they wanted to, nice songs, these songs were sung. But they said, we don't understand the language. And that's the point, we sing. Therefore, I was asking in the beginning, does anybody of you speak Bengali? No, I don't speak Bengali. Now, after many, many, many years, if we sing like the Guru Vandanam, right? Shri Guru Charana Padma, I understand Charana is lotus and Padma is lotus and Charana is the feet. So that I know. But in generally, it's not like, like the Bengalis in Mayapur. They have a great advantage. When they sing the songs, it's their language. It's very normal. Like for you, if you sing something in Hindi or in Pakistani, I don't know, whatever language you have, there's so many different languages in India. So I was thinking, well, we are singing so many songs in the original language because, we have the translation, but it's not singable. So why not convert those songs into singable English songs or even Spanish? I did all these songs I did also in Spanish, and I did them in German. I haven't recorded them because, it takes time. I started to record some of them in Spanish and German, but generally they're all recorded now in English because that's, the universal language. But the idea would be each language, they can convert those songs and make them singable. So people can sing in their own language. And, I think that's important that you know what you are singing. If you know what you are singing, it's different from just singing something and you don't even know what you are singing. I think that was the inspiration, to make it clear when I sing something, I want to know what am I singing.
Yes. I can say that's the reason I'm not very, attracted to a Vaishnav song, because I don't understand it. So Maharaj, I want to ask another question. That is like, nowadays, many singer who are devotee, translating, they are not translating, they are singing Bengali Vaishnav song with music. And that seems something, we get interested in, the interest to listen that. And we are not interested to listen a Vaishnav song without music. So like listening that without music and with music, does it affect?
I don't know what you're saying about songs without music. Song means with music. Otherwise, it's poetry.
No, there's there is a music, but the YouTuber who sings that music without, just for the fame and for the followers, that is something different. The song is same, but there.
But I don't really understand what you mean. Songs without music.
Okay, so let me try again. Suppose Maharaj, someone is singing Vaishnav song for their popularity, and for their, their intention is not to just please the Krishna, just to gain their views, and we are getting attracted toward that.
Okay, yeah, now I understand. Well, that's like professional singers, and there were many in India. Still probably there are. They also were singing Vaishnava songs, or even the Maha Mantra or something like that. So this is not, of course, it's not even recommended, depending on the person who is singing, because they may be either impersonalists, Mayavadis, or they may be karmis, or they may be so many other things, but they're not devotees. So one should listen to those who are devotees, who are practicing Krishna consciousness, not just, as we see here, on the quality of the singer's voice. That's not the criteria. It's not, it's not a musical performance. Of course, it should be attractive. So, one has to balance that, because sometimes if somebody is singing out of tune, so you have to be very advanced to appreciate just because it's the holy name, although the music is not very nice. And that's not, for most people, it's not possible. They want to have nice music. So therefore, yes, Prabhupada, like for example, in the very beginning, Prabhupada was having the idea of a world Sankirtan party. I don't know anybody has ever heard of this. He has in the 1968, 1969, he wanted to have one person on harmonium, one person on tambura, then several kartal players, and altogether a group of 12 devotees presenting, Krishna consciousness with music and song, and even practicing so it would be nice. So, but there should be devotees. That's the best combination, that the music is attractive, the voice, good singing voice, but devotee. If it's not a devotee, then even if it's nice music and nice singing voice, we should not listen. That's the idea. All right.
Thank you so much.
Next here. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, please.
I'm Savita here. So my question is why Bhagwan Vishnu has so many incarnations, so why Krishna is considered the source of everything? Why not other incarnations like Rama, and why not
Well, that's the
Vishnu
Bhagavad.
Bhagwan?
Well, that's Bhagavatam. Krishna's Tu Bhagavan Swayam. First canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Or Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He's the cause of all causes. That's our source of knowledge. We accept that. But ultimately, you can say, it doesn't matter because it's absolute. Whether Krishna comes, or Narayan, for example, comes from Krishna, or Krishna comes from Narayan or Vishnu, on the absolute platform, there's no difference. But still, Sarva Karana Karana, Ishvara Parama Krishna. He's the source of everything. But if you want to have Rama as the source of everything, no problem. There's no difference between Rama and Krishna. Okay, anything else? And otherwise, are we good? We can stop then if there's no other question. Who is our moderator? Do we finish? Rasal Das is okay?
Yes, Maharaj. I think if there's no question, then I think we can call it for a day.
Okay.
And,
So
thank you so much for your valuable time.
Here there's somebody has his Jayadev Goswami has his. Oh no, Rupa Goswami also. They have their hands up. We have the more very important personalities, Jayadeva and Rupa. Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah,
Hare Krishna Maharaj, a question that like why Vaishnava bhajans are so much important.
You're breaking up. No, now you're
asking
muted.
that why Vaishnava bhajans are that much important.
What?
Why Vaishnava bhajans are that much important?
Why they are important? Vaishnava Bhajan.
Yes.
Why not? What's the problem? I think that's the whole idea, that we are presenting philosophy in an accessible or more easier way for people, common people to understand. That's the importance, actually. Because, as we go back to the beginning, Bhagavad Gita is Sanskrit. Now, of course, we have a translation now, but, when the acharyas composed their songs in simple Bengali, why? Because people in general could not study Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Was not possible. So they presented the philosophy, which was presented in Sanskrit, in a very simple way, so that, simple people could understand. That's basically the idea. These songs are simple. Generally how many? There are 4, 5, 6 verses, 4 to 6 verses generally in a song. Very brief, not very long. Some are longer, but generally they are not very long. And you can sing them, and while you're singing, you're understanding the philosophy. So it's a very genius way of preaching. It's a preaching tool, the songs, because people like songs. Hopefully. Generally, unless you're a demon, everybody likes songs, no? So now, then how to present
Thank you so
them,
much.
that's another thing. Like in the old days, or in general, like, let's say the traditional bhajan, as we do still in our temples, mridanga, kartal, and harmonium is like, an addition by Prabhupada, because, generally other acharyas were, hesitant to introduce other instruments because they may distract you. but because we like to hear some nice musical sound, so harmonium was introduced. And of course, as I tried, as you heard, modern instruments can also for a modern audience. Why not? So there's no, Prabhupada tried to convince the Beatles, John Lennon and George Harrison, to compose songs about the philosophy and present them in their way, in their own way, in, pop or rock style. No problem at all. That's why songs are an important medium to transmit a message. Either you transmit the message, oh, I love you so much, just a mundane thing, or you transmit the message that we have seen in the Vaisnava songs. Yeah, that's the idea. All right. So I think we can maybe stop here. Thank you all for participating, very enthusiastic questions, and I hope something of value I was able to transmit. So, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you for your time and association, Maharaj. And on behalf of all the devotees of Pakistan, we would like to invite you to make a visit to Pakistan and be available for your physical face-to-face association.
Well, we'll see. Whatever Krishna desires, we can never say. Maybe this lifetime, maybe next lifetime, someday maybe. Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vaishnava Acharyas ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna, Hari Hari Bol.
His Holiness Bhakti Gauravani Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.